with different examples of spices, or is giving a list of spices, okay? Now let's move on. But this time I will not read this, okay? Now I want to do what? I want to read the paragraph. We're going to read the paragraph carefully. We're going to analyze the paragraph, and then we're going to make a guess about the heading, the suitable heading. What is the main idea of this paragraph, okay? So although human communities were using spices tens of thousands of years ago, the trade of this commodity only began about 2000 BC around the Middle East. Okay, farley uses, okay, hey, uses were less connected with cooking. Wonderful. So it is start to give idea about cooking, right? And more with such diverse function as inflaming medicine. Wow. So cooking and medicine, religion and food preservation. So what is the suggested title? If you read this part only, you are going to understand that this passage is about what? Yeah, can you give me some guesses about that? About the uses, right? Yes. You're going to think that this part is about the uses. Okay. Let's complete. Eventually, extensive overland trade routes, such as Silk Road, routes, trade routes, and maybe about trade routes. But the question is it a hint? Is it a supporting idea or the main idea? It was maritime advance in India to East Asia, which led to the most dramatic growth in commercial activities. From then on, spices were the driving force of the world economy, commanding such high prices that it pitted nation against nation and become the major impetus to exploration and conquest. It would be hard to underestimate the role spices have played in human history. Once you finish this part, you think that what is the main idea? What is the main idea here now? Once you read the last part, you're gonna realize that the main idea is what? Again, just tell me simply, forget about the headings. What is the most striking point here? What is the leading point? The importance, right? He said that it is hard to underestimate the role that spices have played, and they were the driving force of the economy. So I'm talking about the influence, the role of the spices, right? So simply, it is about the significance of the spices. Great, great. Now let's have a look at paragraph D. Originally, Muslim traders dominated these routes, seeing spices leading ships from the Orient crossing Indian Ocean to Red Sea and Persian Gulf ports, from where camel caravans transported the goods overland. However, although slow to develop, European nations using aggressive exploitation and colonization strategies eventually came to rule the Far East and consequently control of the spice trade. At first, Portugal was the dominant power. Portugal was the dominant power, but the British and Dutch eventually gained the upper hand. So when you read that, you are going to understand that what? It is about what? What is the main idea of this paragraph? Yeah, that how those who have the upper hand changed over history, right? So simply, paragraph B, we said that paragraph B is 8. Paragraph C and D, yes. So let's have a look. Paragraph C is going to be which one? Which letter? I want you to give me the numeric number, okay? Yes, so paragraph C, yes, is going to be about the power of spice. Great, you did a great job. And paragraph D is about what? Yeah, that's it. It is about the changing leaders. I think it's clear, right? And I think that this way is very helpful to find the correct answer. So, as I said, never depend on reading the first and second lines only. You need to move your eyes quickly. You need to move your eyes quickly. Okay? Clear? Now let's have a look at paragraph E. Yeah, and F. Why were spices in such demand? There are many answers. In the early days, they were thought to have strong medicinal properties. Oh wow! It may be about medicinal uses. It may be by balancing humors or excesses of emotions in the blood. Other times, they were thought to prevent maladies. You know, maladies means what? Like the plague. Maladies equals the word malady is equivalent to the word disease. Yes, which often saw prices of recommended spices sour. Okay, well, most obviously, spices flavored the bland meat-based European cuisines. Pepper historically has been in the highest demand for this reason. And even today, peppercorns dried wherever remain by monetary value. So here we have two usages. Number one as medicine, and number two to do what? To give flavor to food. The most widely traded spice in the world. However, saffron, by being produced within the small saffron flower, has always been among the world's most costly price by weight, valued mostly for its vivid color. So simply, the revolving idea here is what? Don't give me V or I, just tell me about the main idea here. What is the main idea of this paragraph here? Yeah, the uses of spice. We can use them as medicine. You can use them to give flavor to food. You can use them for their vivid color, right? If I say medical usage, that means, Mr. Mustafa, that the main idea here is revolving around the medical usage only. But here we have three different uses. Okay, number one as medicine, number two to give flavor, number three to give color. Okay, now let's move on. No, not importance. I cannot preface like that. So this is the way spices, Miss Afan, Mr. Afan. Okay, so this is the way spices are used. Okay, predictably, the majority of the world's spices are produced in India. Good. Although specific spices are often produced in greater amounts in other countries. For example, Vietnam, the largest producer and exporter of pepper, and Indonesia, holds a clear lead in nutmeg, and Iran in saffron, Sri Lanka in cinnamon. So it is very clear that here I'm talking about what? In paragraph F. Paragraph F is about the leaders or the places which produce the spices, right? So again, paragraph E and F. Okay, paragraph E. Which one is paragraph E? It's going to be I, yes, letter I. It's uses of spice. And paragraph F. Which one is paragraph F? Yes, the last one, X, spice providers. Okay, great. Now let's move on. This is the last paragraph. However, there are disadvantages in grinding spices. What does it mean by grinding spices? When you grind spices, of course, ladies understand that well. When you grind spices, that means you change them into powder. Yes, very good. It increases their surface area many times, accelerating their evaporation and oxidation of their flavor-bearing and aromatic compound. So when you grind the spices, this will accelerate the oxidation of their flavor and aroma. You know aroma? The taste and the smell. In contrast, the whole dried spices retain. The word retain means what? The word retain means keep. Keep what? Keep the aroma and keep what? The flavor. Okay? For much longer. Thus, the seed-based varieties, which can be packaged and stored well, are often purchased in this form. This allows grinding to be done at the moment of cooking or eating, maximizing the flavor and effect. So 100%, this paragraph is about what? It is about how to preserve or how to keep what? How to keep the flavor and the smell. Keep the flavor and the smell. Okay, so let's see. So which title, which heading is the best one for G? It's number 5, which is letter, which letter? Which numerals here? You need to write numerals. Do not write 5 or do not write the heading itself. So just write the numerals. So I'm gonna say yes, it's V. I think it is clear now. I think now you have a very clear idea about the mechanism that you need to apply in order to do well in this kind of questions. And I think it becomes very clear in your mind how I can do well in this type of questions, right?